Welcome to this tutorial for our InoWorx programmer. ModbusTCP server and client devices can bridge the gap between different kinds of devices in your system. Having an InnoDrive as either the server or client in your system can significantly expand upon communication opportunities, allowing PLC or other systems to delegate tasks or movement to InnoDrives and much more. For this tutorial, we're going to assign 3 already created variables in our user application to the ModbusTCP server, so that when our program is up and running, an external ModbusTCP client can have access to these variables. You can see in the variables from the resource tree on the left here, we have 3 variables already configured. Clicking variables will open the variable dialog box. We can see variable X, variable Y, and variable Z. Please note the data types for each one. Please also note that Modbus holding registers are 16 bits each. So if we are assigning a variable with an integer data type, then the variable will utilize 1 holding register. But if our variable is a double integer data type, then it will require 2 holding registers. Click Server here back in our blank programmer. Click Server here to configure the ModbusTCP server from the resource tree. This opens up the server configuration dialog window. First, we should configure the server. So InnoDrive to InnoDrive communication works with these default settings, but if you have a different kind of device, you might need to assess whether or not it requires addressing the offset or byte swap settings to be different. All we need to do, since we're doing InnoDrive to InnoDrive, is toggle the enabled setting here. Once you've finished, you can continue on to the next section, the actual data in the holding registers. Selecting the registers drop-down shows you all of the variables that have been included already. Of course, since this is our first time configuring the ModbusTCP server with this program, we see a blank table. To start, let's click the Add Variable button. This will open up our variables table so that we can click the checkbox for variable X, and then the Select button back at the server configuration dialog window. We can see that variable X has been added and that it's been assigned default Modbus holding register address 0. Because the data type for variable X is int, or integer, the register count is 1. Okay, 1 to 3, let's go. Click the Add Variable button again to select the next variable. Please note that variable Y is of data type double integer. Click the checkbox and click Select. That variable Y was successfully added, but it also defaults to address 0. So we need to change this to holding register address 1. Click Set Address button and enter 1, and then click Accept. Now we can see that variable Y has been assigned to register 1, and that the holding register count for this variable is 2, because it's a double integer data type. Just to recap, this means that our holding registers addresses 0, 1, and 2 are full. So our next variable will need to be assigned to address 3, even though nothing was assigned explicitly to 2. Variable Y took up 1 and 2. Okay, let's finish up. Click the Add Variable button a third time to select the last variable. Please note that variable Z is of data type bool, or boolean. Click the checkbox for variable Z and click Select back at the server configuration dialog window. We can see that variable Z was added, but it defaults to address 0, of course. We need to change this to holding register address 3. Okay, we've now configured the ModbusTCP server for our 3 variables. After you download your program to your target InnoDrive, your ModbusTCP client is connected to the InnoDrive's network and can receive and issue Modbus function codes for reading and writing holding register addresses 0, 1, and 3. We have additional tutorials on our website in manual and video forms, as well as a responsive support team. If you have any questions or hit any roadblocks, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thanks so much for your time. Happy programming.